President Biden and former President Trump are now able to shift their focus to the general election. John Dickerson joins me now from Studio 57 in New York. That means the galaxy is now in proper alignment. I'm back here in Washington, D.C. John is back in New York. I know everyone is relieved at that reality. John, let's talk about something that is on your mind. It's on my mind every single day. The former President of the United States said on his first day in office, should he be reelected, that he will pardon the, quote, January 6th hostages. Diagram that language and its historical import, if you'd be so kind.
Well, these are people who attacked the carrying out of the free and fair election, the centerpiece of democracy, and they went through the legal system,
Either were convicted or pled.
Right. They were convicted or pled. Exactly. And so they have been through the system. So this is both a double attack. It is a rewriting of the history of what happened. These are people who attacked the government in order to take the vote away from 81 million people who chose Joe Biden. That was the first offense. And the second is that it's an attack on the judicial system, which adjudicated these cases and found them guilty, or they pled. So two pillars of democracy. One is free and fair elections, and the other is the rule of law. And Donald Trump is promising on the first day to essentially attack both of those, which is not a new thing. For anybody who is endorsing Donald Trump this time around, they know that this is what he does because he's been in one form or another doing it since he lost the election in 2020, which changes something about this election. These endorsements are not people who don't know what Donald Trump is up to. This is now the position of his party to be in support of these two things, which kick the legs out from under a functioning democracy.
John, this week and in the next week, we will be marking all sorts of four-year anniversaries since the onset, the clear, unmistakable onset of COVID-19. Talk to me about your thoughts on that and the rigors of the presidency.
For me, COVID-19 is one of the key truths about the presidency. Stuff surprises you as a president. And so if you know that going in, you need to build a team that can handle surprises, and you need to have a relationship with the country built on at least some high level of trust so that when the surprise comes, you can give clean, clear information to the American people. It is a great way to test for the attributes of the two men running to be president, to see whether they have the attributes to handle a surprise. And Donald Trump is the one who was in office when this happened 4 years ago, and the marks are not good. And the key distinction is not just about mistakes made in a good faith effort to attack the pandemic. The challenge for Donald Trump is to explain why, when he knew tests were not available, he told the public anybody who wanted one could get one. When he knew it was more severe than the flu, he said that it was not. When he knew China was not telling the truth, he said China had it in hand. The COVID crisis group, 32 experts who spent months studying what happened, said that Donald Trump was a comorbidity in COVID-19. That's a challenge for him to explain why he did a good job handling a surprise when experts say he didn't.
In the minute we have left, John, the importance of having an 8-month general election campaign?
I take guidance from you. We had an internal meeting, and you said the benefit of having that much time is that we in the press can do our job putting the issues in front of the American people. They're going to be both candidates trying to talk about how the other is awful. What I see in a long election is a chance to tee up for the public all of the most important issues, not just the questions of democracy, but American opportunity, foreign policy, which has got a host of challenges. It is an election in which we can, in fact, interrogate all of the most pressing questions in front of the public if we all don't get distracted by what is likely to be a pretty nasty campaign.
Nothing I like better than John Dickerson to quote me from a Zoom call internally here at CBS News. John Dickerson, thank you so very much, sir. We'll see you around.
I was paying attention.